I'm Dr. Deb Butler, and you're listening to Thinner Peace and Menopause and Beyond. This is episode number 369. Welcome to Thinner Peace and Menopause and Beyond. This is Dr. Deb Butler, Master Life and Weight Coach, and as always, your coach. If you're a woman and you're smart and you're successful and you've been struggling with weight your whole life, and now menopause is making it harder than ever, and you are ready to make this the last time you ever have to go on a diet again, then this podcast is for you. Stay tuned. Well, hello, all my dear friends all over the world. And I want to give a big shout out to Janine in South Africa because I did receive your letter. I answered you back. You are one of my dear friends all over the world. And it was such a beautiful letter. And also, it makes me know that my message, it doesn't matter where you live in this whole world, it's all the same. One of the things that Janine said in her letter is that it's changing her life so much around food and menopause that she wants to start her own group around my podcast and use my companion book that you all can get for free, as you know, by going to drdebbutler.com/change. And she wants to use it with her friends in a group around my podcasts. And I'm suggesting in the companion book in learning how to eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full. So Janine, you go for it. And if you have any questions, you can always email me. And that goes for all of you, just like Janine did. She wrote me a letter, asked me a question, told me what was going on with her, gives me once again confirmation that I am on the right track with my message. And I am here for all of you. Even if I never meet you or see you, you can always talk to me through email. My email is open and available, drdeb@drdebbutler.com. Ask me anything. Hey, and listen, you also can come on my podcast and I can coach you. Ooh, that sounds like fun. Anyway, now I just want to say for this podcast, I want to talk about years a little bit because since I've been doing this for 6 years, showing up every single week and doing a podcast about weight loss and menopause, a lot of times I don't talk about the year and it could be very confusing because somebody could be listening to this 2 years from now and think that it's recent. So just know that this is May 2023 in regard to what I'm talking about today, because I do have something very special going on right now. And I want to make sure you're all in the right year, 2023. One of the things that I find with my clients that I think is really, really helpful is that many have a big problem making a commitment to themselves and honoring it. I know most of you, like if you make an appointment with somebody else in your calendar, the chance of you following through with that, I bet you, is 90 to 100%. However, and I hope this is really helpful for you, what I find is it's a lot of times when you make a commitment to yourself, you don't put it in your calendar. You just tell yourself. And then what happens is that that commitment means that if I have time, after I get everything else done, then I'm going to honor that commitment to you. And I think what happens, at least this is what I found through my coaching through the years, is a lot of times it doesn't happen. That commitment, you don't follow through with it because you think you don't have the time because you don't calendar it. So, what I want to talk about today, and what I want you to start thinking about is how to make a commitment to yourself. And I have a perfect venue for you to be able to do that because if you haven't heard, I am teaching a 5-day little mini course from May 15th to 19th at 11 o'clock every morning Central for 5 days. And it's all about how to train your brain to lose weight in menopause. So when we talk about commitments, and I always like to give you something to do on each podcast that I do. I like to teach you a little something, and then I want to give you a little homework on what to do. So here, what I first want you to think about when you think about this course that I'm doing, Train Your Brain to Lose Weight in Menopause, I want to tell you a little bit about what's going to be in it. And then we want to talk about how to make a commitment to do that. Because when you know that when you tell yourself you're going to do something for yourself and you follow through and do it, it gives you so much confidence in yourself that you will do it. But if you tell yourself you're going to do things and you don't do it as much as you think you should do it, then you lose the confidence in yourself about following your own heart and your own commitments. So, first, let me tell you a little bit about what Train Your Brain to Lose Weight in Menopause is about and who it's for. This is for if you're a woman who's been trying to lose weight her whole life and now menopause is making it harder than ever, then this is for you. If that is you, you need to do this with me. And I will tell you, by the time we're through with this podcast, you will learn how to make a commitment. You will learn what's going to be in it, and you're going to be excited to do it. So, when you've been in menopause and you've been struggling your whole life with trying to lose weight, and menopause seems to be making it harder than ever. And I say seems to be making it harder than ever because a lot of it is in your brain, not really menopause itself. But here's the truth, and this is why it's so important for you if you've been trying to lose weight your whole life and you believe menopause is making it harder than ever, is that since you've been 20 years old, your metabolism has been decreasing over time. So if you're 50 now and you're trying to eat like you were 20, research shows that you will have gained 30 pounds eating the same way that you've always eaten, which is why so many people think menopause is making it harder than ever. But if you've been understanding and feeling your appetite since you've been 20, which means eating when you're hungry and stopping when you're full, and you totally are connected to that, then for you, menopause may not be a weight problem at all because you will have noticed that over the years, you don't eat as much because you're not as hungry. So eating when you're hungry and stopping when you're full at 20 is very different in a body that's 50 of eating when you're hungry and stopping when you're full. And yet, most menopausal women think they're hungrier. And the reason they think they're hungrier is because of the emotional component of hunger, which I cover a lot in these 5 days that we'll be spending together, is to show you the difference between emotional hunger and physical hunger. What increases in menopause is emotional hunger. What decreases in menopause is physical hunger. So I can't think of a better time to learn how to eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full, which is exactly what I will be teaching you in these 5 days. That's one of the days I will be teaching specifically how to eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full by understanding the physical hunger and the emotional hunger. I will go into it, I will teach it to you, and then I will coach you on it, why it's hard for you to stop eating when you know you're full. And regardless if I coach you or not, if you're on the call and you hear me coach somebody else, your brain will get it too, because this is the thing. I know what to eat. There is no doubt in my mind that by the time you're 50 years old, you know what's good for you and what's not good for you. And I think what happens if you're anything like me, if you've been on diets your whole life, and now menopause is making it harder than ever. It's time to be able to get your brain involved with your body. We call it a brain body connection or a mind body connection. Now, I think most of you know what food your body needs, but I think a lot of you don't know what the heck is going on in your brain that's making you do things against what your body wants. That's why I want to teach you how to train your brain to lose weight, because I think it's your brain that needs training. I don't think, at least I find for most of my clients and most of the people that I coach, that you know what you're thinking when you eat when you're not hungry, that you know what you're thinking when you're overeating, that you know what you're thinking when you have urges, when you have an urgent desire to eat something that you just told yourself 6 hours ago you're not going to do. But the urgent desire is so strong and you don't know how to manage your brain to handle it. And so you end up giving into it. But that's a brain problem. So I think it's the brain that needs training. And I think most of you have been trying to find the right food, the right diet, especially in menopause. There must be something magical about menopause, and I need to find out what it is. There is no magic in menopause, it's your brain. If you have not understood your brain and understood what you've been thinking around food up until menopause, then menopause is a rude awakening. because your brain gets a little bit more emotional. So when the emotions get higher, it's harder to know what you're thinking. And if you never knew what you were thinking, it's going to be hard to figure it out now, unless you have somebody who knows how to do it. That's what I love to do, is to show people what they're thinking that's causing them to overeat. I train brains every day of my life in menopause, and it makes all the difference in the world. And once you can train your brain and know what you're thinking and you can start thinking on purpose, it's not going to just be around food. It's not going to just be around your body. It's going to be a creation for your whole life. So, are you right for my 5-day course? Is this something for you? Well, if you're a woman and you've been struggling with weight your whole life and now menopause is making it harder than ever, and you're ready to find out what's going on in your brain and let your brain run the show, this course is for you. It's also for anybody that I've worked with in the past, any of you. If you've been clients of mine, you've been in groups with me, you've been in individual coaching with me, and you just want a tune up or you just need a little Dr. Deb coaching, this is perfect for you. It's a simple, easy, inexpensive way to tweak your brain. And if you've never had your brain tweaked before, I can't think of a better time to start. Menopause is the best time to train your brain if it hasn't been trained up until now because you didn't know. And that's because the research shows that our brains are actually more malleable at this time, changeable. And you all maybe have heard the term neuroplasticity, which means if you change your thinking, you change the neural pathways of your brain. It's all possible. What your brain thinks is what you do. Your brain creates urges. Your brain creates the urge to overeat. And we want to get up there, and I want to coach you and show you what's up there and show you how simple it is to change it. So I know you're smart enough and I know you know what to eat, except you confuse yourself so much because you don't realize you just don't know how to eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full because you've never done it. You've only followed a diet. That's my story. I was on a diet on Weight Watchers for my whole life. I was a lifetime Weight Watcher member from the time I was 12. Oh my God. I feel so sorry for myself. And that's why I have so much compassion for myself, is because a 12-year-old thinking like this and thinking that somehow something was wrong with me. And I didn't even weigh too much. I just thought I did. It was okay for me to go to Weight Watchers at 12 years old and tell me what to eat. It should have been a good thing, but all it did was start something that made me believe that I could not trust my own body around when to eat when I'm hungry and stop when I'm full. That's what happened. And it wasn't until I was 50 years old and I learned about coaching and I learned that our brains have so much more control over what happens to us than we know. And then once we know that and we can think on purpose, not only can we change our bodies, we can change anything. It was life changing for me. And I know that these 5 days with me can be life changing for you, the beginning of losing weight for the last time. Now, one of the things that I'll be teaching in this 5-day course is I'm going to be teaching you about one of the struggles that I know most of you have is eating at night, or I call it the after 5 p.m. syndrome. I don't know, but after 5 p.m., when you're through with work, when you're through with whatever you're through with, your brain has so many ideas for you, and your body basically is not as hungry as your brain thinks it is. And I can show you in just 1 hour, I will be able to show you the difference about what your brain is doing and what your body is doing and teach you how to work on that brain of yours so that when you're through with just that 1 hour, you will understand better what to do after 5 p.m. than you've ever known your whole life. And that's just one day. That's just 1 hour because the nighttime eating is a brain problem. Your brain has a lot of ideas about what should happen. Should you have a party? You don't have anything to do. You're bored. You're scared. You just don't know what you want to do. Oh, there's a TV program on. What am I going to eat with it? This is your brain. Your brain needs to be reprogrammed. There is no better time to retrain your brain than when it's the most malleable, which is in menopause. So it's perfect timing. And the problem with this after 5 p.m. syndrome of eating is if you want help, you're probably one of those women that have been doing this your whole life. You didn't just start nighttime eating in menopause. You've been doing it your whole life, but you figured out a way through an external diet how to not do it sometimes, restrict and deprive. But boy, you get that weight off, and then it's like, well, it's time to go party at night again. It's like, I just want to go back and do what I've always done because you never got in touch with what was going on in the brain. It was just a food thing, it was just a diet thing. Everything that I teach is about what goes on in your head that creates what you put in your mouth. It's the exact opposite of probably what you've done your whole life. So, with the nighttime eating, if you've been doing that your whole life and you know how to restrict and deprive because you've used diet, so sometimes you're okay at night, it's kind of like white knuckle it, and then the weight comes off, and then it's like the knuckles come off, and you're just back to doing what you're doing. Then the weight comes on, then you restrict and deprive, you find your diet. You hit menopause, you try to do the same thing, and what happens? Nothing. Your body doesn't drop a pound. Welcome to menopause. It is an invitation to learn how to train your brain because you can't keep doing this. And you know that already. You already know, I can't keep doing this. It's too slow. Your body's metabolism is slowing down. That is just what is going on. No problem because your appetite is less too. So it's no big deal. You're just eating less because you're less hungry. I want to show you how to do that. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is why you should be here live when I do this course. Do you remember what I talked to you about in the podcast in the beginning about honoring your commitments? I want to give you something really simple on how to start honoring your commitments. And that is that if you sign up to work with me for 5 days, to coach with me and to work with me and to learn so many different things, especially like we're talking about nighttime eating, that's going to be one of the challenges that I'll be talking about on one of those days. If that's what you want to do, then that's how we start. And the way that we start is by how do you show up? It starts with a commitment. So here you go. You have 5 days of coaching. When you go and you click on drdebbutler.com/brain, BRAIN, and it will take you to the page. It will tell you what this course is all about. That is only $37. I mean, seriously, $37. You click it, you pay, and then you know what you do? You go to your calendar. This is your homework. You go to your calendar and you put on your calendar at 11 a.m., wherever you are in the world. I know everybody's different, but for me, it's 11 a.m. Central, wherever you are, whatever that time is, from May 15th to May 19th for that hour, you put your name on that appointment and put it in your calendar. And sweetheart, that means when that pops up and you'll have your Zoom link from me to show up, you click on it every day for 5 days. And that's the beginning of learning how to honor a commitment to yourself. Now, if you honor this commitment, you know what's going to happen next? You're going to learn things about your brain that you never knew before. And I'm going to give you little simple things to do that will help you actually start losing weight when that week is over. So you commit to 5 days, you show up for yourself because you said you would. It pops up on that calendar and your brain says, you know what, it'll be recorded. I can just look at it later. You do not go with that because what you're going to say to yourself, what you're going to answer back is when I make a commitment to myself, I honor it. You start practicing thinking like that. Because if the way you've been thinking is, oh, it'll be recorded, or, oh, I have something else to do, or, oh, somebody else needs me. If you do that, you're not retraining your brain. So you start to train your brain when you sign up. You don't just pay, you put it on your calendar. And then you show up every single time it pops up on your calendar. And I will tell you what, even if nothing fantastic was going to happen on those 5 days, which let me tell you something, I know it will, you will have just felt so good about yourself for doing what you said you're going to do. Now, how does that sound? So what are you going to do? You're going to go to drdebbutler.com/brain. You're going to click on it. You're going to go to the page where it tells you to click and sign up. And then you're going to go to your calendar and you're going to put you on your calendar for the next 5 days and have confidence and faith and hope that this is the beginning of losing weight in menopause for the very last time. And of course, I would never end this podcast without saying to you, and I also want to tell you that that is also one of the days that we'll be covering is all about self-kindness and self-compassion, how to do it. That's going to be another topic that I will be covering. So, no matter where you go, no matter who you're with, please, please, please be very, very kind to yourself. And I will see you next week. Bye-bye.
If you're loving my podcast and you would like some more information to be able to follow along with, then please go to drdebbutler.com/change and you can get a free copy of my companion book that goes with this podcast that I refer to in many different episodes. That is drdebbutler.com/change. CHANGE.